Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I got to tell you, one of the biggest concerns out there for businesses today, governments today, is cybersecurity, and this stuff is extremely dangerous, what's happening out there. And I'm delighted to have on today's program one of the country's premier experts on this topic, Gary Miliefsky, CEO of a company called SnoopWall.com, and I'm delighted just to have you with us. And in fact, you're actually one of the founding members of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and obviously in the cyber arena. Tell us a little bit more about your background before we get started.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be on the show. Yeah, I've spent years dealing with cyber terrorism issues and cyber criminal issues, and just a few years ago I started SnoopWall to focus on the root cause of the problem, where everybody is being eavesdropped or spied on, and we actually work with banks and credit unions to help them make their mobile banking apps more secure, and that's kind of when we discovered this huge problem.
Okay. Kind of go a little deeper in the problem. How did you discover it, and kind of give us the reach of that?
Well, it turns out that most people have about 50 or more apps installed on their Android or their Windows phone or their iPhone or their iPad or their tablet. And with all these apps, most antivirus doesn't think a single app is malicious.
Well, okay. And so you could have a single app that is malicious, and your antiviral won't pick that up.
Exactly. And only recently the senior vice president of Symantec admitted that he actually said to the Wall Street Journal, antivirus is dead. We've got to change our approach because the new cyber criminals and attackers and other nation states that want to spy on us are getting really, really smart at how they do it. And we found that the top 10 flashlight apps have a lot of features that they don't need, just on the Android alone, but also on Windows phones and Apple iPhones and iPads as well. These flashlight apps are large in size because they have a lot of code, and they all of them have internet connectivity to send and receive information over the internet. And then you can dig deeper and find that some of them, many of them, want to geolocate you. They have access to your contacts list. They have access to the storage of your phone, including your pictures and your videos. And the list goes on and on and on. And we put a threat report out as it's National Cybersecurity Awareness Month to try to wake consumers up that they really need to delete these flashlight apps. We have over 500 million installed in America alone.
Interesting. I, by the way, have one of these as well, so apparently I know what I'm doing after the show.
Exactly. So
yeah, that's interesting.
When an app does a lot of things, every app gets permission when you are a developer and you say, hey, I want my app to do some really cool things. I'm going to make a lot of function calls, and I'm going to talk to a lot of pieces of the phone, the GPS, the microphone, the Bluetooth, the NFC, the Wi-Fi. I'll look at your SMS. I'll look at your contact list. The list goes on. So if you have access to all of these hardware data ports and you're writing a flashlight app, that seems very odd and very fishy.
Yeah, I can see where you would say that. Tell me a little bit about, and I'm assuming, are you going to start doing an inventory of some of these other apps? Here's one. It's hard to just talk about all of them because people will ignore a huge list, which is why I'm assuming you're going currently after the flashlight app, but I'm assuming you're going to probably go after others over time.
Exactly, and we will have another threat report out next month on the second most popular installed app, but this is the number one most popular installed app, other than the game Angry Birds or Candy Crush. And just an aside about these games, when you get anything for free on your phone, nothing in this world is free. You get something for free on your phone, and that company wants to monetize their game. And what they do is they don't write an entire advertisement network themselves. They buy or license or use some code to talk to advertisement networks. And the word we're using in the security arena is now malvertising, malware advertising. And the reason is that an ad network starts to collect a lot of private information on the consumers on their phone. So one of the 10 flashlight vendors complained to Snoopball and said, "Why'd you put us in the report?" And we responded, "You're using a malvertising network. If you would just remove that network and stop advertising and geolocating users and collecting a lot of data because you're supposed to be a flashlight, then you probably wouldn't have made it into our report." And, of course, their answer is, well, we're not getting rid of our network connections because we need to monetize and make money off of people by serving them ads of things they might want to see where they are. That's the problem. So the least invasive flashlight app, just like Angry Birds or Candy Crush or others, still has internet connections, and it looks at your IP address, and it collects a lot of information on you so you know who you are, where you are, and what you like to do, so they can allegedly advertise to you. And that's the weakest in the threat report. The stronger ones are so dangerous they can write to protected storage and leave a Trojan on your phone even after you've uninstalled them.
Yeah, I got to wrap it up. I'm sorry. Gary Miliefsky, he's CEO of a company called SnoopWall.com. They've got a current report that I insist the listener go check out. I'm assuming it's easy to find there on your homepage.
Yeah, right off of the top of our homepage, we have a link to the threat report.
Top 10 flashlight apps spying revealed. Click there for the full report. I am. Make sure you check it out. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for the opportunity, and I'm happy to share more of our threat reports with you in the future so people can harden their phones and reclaim their privacy.
Thanks so much. When we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here can be found over there at usdatareview.com, and this is The Price of Business.